we got a lot of cool to celebrate, but I got a question first. Can you win the game in the first quarter? No. Can you win the game in the second quarter? No. Did we spot them 21 points? Yeah. So what about, hey, can you win the game in the third quarter? No. What about that?
Brian Schottenheimer coming into his own as the Dallas Cowboys pull the upset of the day over the vaunted Philadelphia Eagles. Dak Prescott now 19 straight home division wins.
It's amazing.
One short of the all-time record post-merger, 1970. Tom Brady has the record with 20.
Right.
Prescott had been tied with Brett Favre at 18. Got number 19 yesterday.
Yeah, that's impressive. It really is. And then, of course, against that team, right, the Philadelphia Eagles, where we know how good they are, how talented they are. That was amazing. Amazing game to watch, especially how it started. The Eagles going up 21-0. The way they came back, right? Fun one at 4:25 yesterday. What are you smirking about?
It's not the kind of game that the Cowboys win.
Yeah.
The Cowboys have to get out to the lead and then put the pedal to the metal. For them to put the clamps on the Eagles after spotting them 21, wake up the offense, and I just assumed that the world would be under the mistaken presumption that I am honoring Kenneth Gainwell, Steelers running back, the day after the Steelers lost to the Bears. This is my old George Pickens
We'll get a new
jersey.
one. I mean, damn.
This is my old George Pickens
Why didn't you get a Dallas one already?
Because I'm cheap.
If he's your favorite receiver and you think he's Randy Moss,
I'm going to have to get. I don't think anything. And you know what? It dawned on me, I think this morning, and it's been building.
Right.
Because, when I was a kid, I was telling Coach Garrett this yesterday. My dad, the bookie, hated the Steelers because everybody in town bet with their hearts.
Right.
And he always needed the Steelers to not make the number, and they always did. 73, 74, 75, 76, on and on. And the flip side was he loved the Cowboys.
Right.
Because all those people hated the Cowboys then, and they always bet against the Cowboys no matter what. And, I mean, the Cowboys have been such an integral part of the NFL's narrative for the 50 years that I've been an NFL fan. I'm kind of coming around on the Cowboys.
Oh, my gosh.
I think I'm getting on the bandwagon.
All right, you were the Eagles to start the year. Now the Eagles lose to the Cowboys.
Eagles, you had your chance.
Okay.
Eagles had your chance. They didn't get their talons in. They had their chance.
Wow.
It didn't work. Even the cannolis from Big Dom, it didn't take. There's something about the Cowboys. And, look, they're naturally sympathetic because of everything that happened with Marshawn Neal, and I think that had an impact on me as well. George Pickens present there, the fact that he's thriving, Dak Prescott, despite the fact
what did Jerry offer you? Jerry offered you something, huh?
Nothing yet, but Jerry, let's have a negotiation. I'll start with the George Pickens jersey. But, yeah, this is that George Pickens jersey because we had some stupid bet a couple of years ago when Pickens was with the Steelers, and I got this at the airport in Pittsburgh. And it's actually, as the cheap knockoff replica numbers that if you wash it too many times, they'll come off, jerseys go, it's not bad. But I had to bring it this weekend just in case because I had a feeling the Cowboys are going to win because who picked the Cowboys to win?
Yeah, you did.
And what was the score I picked?
Did you pick 24-21?
I picked 24-21.
Wow, that's incredible. That's your second bingo, bango, bongo of the year.
3.
Third one? Wow,
3.
that's a really amazing. That did not register with me that you picked the same scores. That's awesome.
I saw it coming yesterday as we were in the studio here, and as the game was getting closer and closer to the end, it's like, I'm not saying a word about it. I'm not going to jinx it. Because they were down at the goal line. They had the fourth down.
Right.
And it's like, why aren't you kicking the field goal here?
Right.
But they put the Eagles deep in their own end.
Yes.
And they started to put some first downs together. But I think the reality is this Eagles offense, as of yesterday, once they scored on their first 3 possessions, they couldn't get it going again. And the Cowboys were confident that at some point before the Eagles got in field goal range, that drive would sputter out.
Yeah.
And it did. And it gave the Cowboys enough time. When you have a weapon like Brandon Aubrey, you don't need to gain many yards. They did. They got in field goal range, and then there was one more completion to George Pickens that made it, for Aubrey, a chip shot.
Well, I mean, there you go right there. There's your Eagles offense after leading 21-0. Non-existent. Couldn't do anything. right? You know, what do they say? The chickens finally came home to roost? Is that what they say?
Yes.
Right? Yeah, I don't know.
Well, you got one of those right.
I know, I did get it right. It doesn't make sense to me because I'm like, I feel like chickens, do they roost? I don't even know what that is. But either way, yeah, I think that...
You have chickens. You should
I know,
know
I
the
should
answer
know.
to this question.
I'm saying that's the ironic part here. But with all that...
Your chickens don't come home.
Finally,
they get picked off by hawks and vultures.
They're home now. But finally, I mean, I feel it's like it caught up to them, right? It's been a lot of weeks of... Wait, the offense, what are they doing? How come it's not working? Oh, well, we won. It's okay. Yeah, we want to get A.J. Brown the ball. But yesterday's a day where they finally met their match a little bit. They met their match in a little bit of a team that went, wait, your defense is great, but we have an offense that we feel like we can move the ball. And then, of course, with Prescott and those two receivers you're talking about, it's about as special as it gets as far as that's concerned. They met their match as far as, hey, the offense has stumbled, and we know they're not playing the best, but the defense has been phenomenal. They'll be able to hold it down for us. The D-line, they'll stop everything. They do every week, right? Well, the Cowboys are one of those teams that have invested in their offensive line, right? They got a bunch of first-rounders. So I think it was the least amount of any game all year where I went, man, the Eagles, I didn't hear anybody on the D-line's name called very many times, right? Never felt like they kind of took over the game. Dak dropped back. Felt like he was comfortable a whole bunch, right? So they met their match that way. And then with some of the adjustments the Cowboys have made and their defensive line, and that being definitely better, yeah, the Eagles couldn't just steamroll them and do what they want on that side of the ball. So Dallas has some matchup things that you like against the Philadelphia Eagles. And I think added on top of that, they were finally able to expose or put the Eagles in a spot to where, hey, the offense has to play better football if you want to win football games against top quality teams. And that's it finally bit them in the butt.
And, down 21-0, we've talked about this before, and I think this is the mentality of the generation of kids that grew up playing Madden. It's not 21-0, it's 3-0. And all you need is one to get it started.
Yeah.
I think the touchdown before halftime was critical to going into the locker room and believing that they could come out, and all you need is one more.
Yeah.
And then all you need is one after that.
Right.
We're in a tie game.
Yeah.
And things started to go sideways for the Eagles. What could go wrong did go wrong. The Cowboys kept pushing. The Cowboys kept believing. You could feel the momentum building through the TV screen. And whether it was the Saquon Barkley fumble, the ridiculously stupid, Xavier Gibson
catching the ball at your 1 yard line. Right.
At the 1 yard line, that's bad enough, but then you better hold on to the ball. That's the thing. And that's always been one of the narratives. When a punt returner fields the ball and tries to return it under circumstances where he absolutely should not, it heightens the stakes of what you do with it. And if you fumble it after that, you're going to get cut just like you got cut by the Jets when you did it earlier this year.
Yeah.
Not that, but fumbled in a key spot on special teams.
Yeah, I mean, big. I mean, certainly big there. Eagles made some mistakes down the stretch, and we've said that before. The Eagles are almost good enough to where if their offense plays B-, C+, C football,
C+,
they can still win the game. That's what's amazing about the Eagles. That's what we've seen them do. I mean, we saw them do it last week on Sunday Night Football. But yesterday was a little different. And within yesterday, too, I know they went up 21-0, but let's put some context behind the 21-0. First drive of the game, what did the Cowboys do? They went for it at midfield and gave the Eagles the ball at the 50-yard line.
And as we were saying, that's not what you do with the Eagles' struggling offense. You pin them and force them to move. Dan Campbell did the same thing last week. We said it as it was happening.
Yes.
We made the comment.
Right.
Why are you giving them the ball there? Why are you making it easier for the Eagles? Make them earn it.
Right. And you talked about them being down 21-0. I also think like what you said, you're right. Their players' ability to compartmentalize being down 21-0, not as a big deal. The Madden effect, we've had fun with that, and I do think that's real, right? I've talked to players who have talked about that before. Yeah, that's real. But also, the Cowboys had some positive things happen for them, too, even down 21-0 to go, wait, we're not being, dominated. They're not running us off the field here. All right, so you have a short field touchdown. Hey, they make a stop a few series later, or was it the next series? And then referees blow it and call roughing the punter. They block the punt. They hit the ball. That extended the drive for the Eagles to go down and score and go up 14-0. So that was a mistake. Then we saw the Cowboys drive the ball down the football field, and Kayvon Turbin fumbled the ball, tripped over himself, ran into his own guy about, in field goal range, 20-yard line, 22-yard line. So there's another instance where the Cowboys went, wait, I know we're losing, but there's some, we're not being, dominated here, right? And then right before the half, they went down, and Dak Prescott threw one of the dumbest passes and interceptions of his season in the end zone before they got the ball back one more time to go down and score to make it 21-7 at halftime. So I think with what you're saying and what I'm trying to say is that even though they were outplayed a little bit in the first quarter there, I think they could still look at it and go, wait, we're not being obliterated here. We're hanging in here. We've made a few mistakes. They got a little lucky. Let's just hang in and see if our guys can make a mistake. Some big plays. And then we saw Dak Prescott, CeeDee, and Pickens take over.
And everyone's well aware of the narrative that, and narratives become narratives because they're accurate, the narrative that the Eagles offense will slip into a shell from time to time. So let's keep pushing.
Exactly right.
Let's keep pushing. Let's not give up. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.